One of the most valuable asset you have is your home. Providing proper coverage for your home is the smart thing to do and could get you back on your daily life and not dealing with insurance headaches if anything were to happen to your home. If you own a business, we know that you poured your blood, sweats, and tears into building your business. At UW Insure, we care about your business and wouldn't want you to get caught in any bad situations, but sometimes accidents do happen. Providing sufficient and correct coverage will help you get back on building your business as soon as possible. Personal property is that the stuff you own, furniture, electronics and clothing, for instance. Whether you own a home or rent an apartment, insurance policies typically include personal estate coverage. This sort of coverage helps pay to repair or replace your belongings after a covered loss, like theft or fire. There are two sorts of personal estate coverage: cost and actual cash value. A cost policy typically pays the dollar amount it'll fancy buy a replacement item at the time of a claim. An actual cash value policy factors in depreciation to supply reimbursement supported the present value of an item. It is also important to understand that private property coverage usually has certain limits on what it'll pay to exchange an item or category of things. A common misconception among renters is that their landlord's policy will cover their belongings. While landlord insurance typically helps protect the residents against certain risks, that coverage typically doesn't reach a renter's belongings. A typical condo policy includes coverage for the owner's belongings against certain risks, like fire or theft. So, while a condo association's insurance may help protect the body of the building and therefore the areas shared by multiple owners, that protection likely doesn't reach the things inside a unit. A condo owner's policy usually helps protect belongings, like furniture, computers or clothing, against a covered loss. Again, coverage limits will apply. An agent can help explain your coverage terms and limits so you'll decide whether you've got the right protections. In addition to providing dwelling and liability protection, most owners' insurance policies include coverage for private property up to the bounds outlined within the policy. So, if your house is damaged by a covered peril, fire, as an example, homeowners insurance typically helps pay to repair damage not only to the home's structure, but it also may help replace the belongings inside. Coverage is subject to the terms and limits outlined in your policy, so make certain to read your policy or ask your agent if you've got any questions. Typical homeowners, renters and condo policies don't provide coverage for lost items. If a valuable is stolen, you will probably find insurance will help cover the loss. However, if you misplace a belonging or leave it behind during a bedroom, for instance, insurance usually won't cover the loss. However, scheduled personal estate, an add-on protection which will be purchased for specific items, may help cover lost items. Contact an agent to find out about the specifics of your coverage. While jewelry is usually considered a kind of private property, it is vital to think about whether your coverage limits are high enough to guard the pieces you value most. Often, insurance policies will accompany sub-limits surely sorts of belongings, like jewelry. So, while your overall personal estate coverage limits are higher, coverage for jewelry could also be more limited. Make certain to see your policy or ask your agent about what quite coverage you've got for jewelry. While your homeowners, renters or condo policy may help provide protection for your personal belongings, that coverage typically comes with sub-limits surely sorts of property, and sometimes there are even limits for every item. An agent can assist you decide whether you'll enjoy scheduling certain items, which suggests purchasing separate coverage to further protect specific high-value items, like jewelry, art or musical instruments. Personal property coverage kicks in when belongings are damaged by certain risks. It is vital to notice that not all risks are covered by a typical policy. As an example, if your belongings are damaged during a flood, the private property coverage during a homeowner's, condo or renter's policy presumably wouldn't provide reimbursement. However, if you've got a separate flood policy, you'd likely be ready to file a claim for flood-damaged items in your home. Read your policy or contact your agent to find out what sorts of risks your insurance may or might not help cover. The value of your belongings can really add up, so it is vital to understand what quite coverage you've got if the unexpected occurs. An area agent can assist you review your policy and allow you to know what other sorts of coverage could also be available to assist you better protect what matters most to you.